Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, very pleased to be invited to come here to share with every one of you about the AI, about the financial digitalization and globalization. Yeah. As we all aware of, definitely I think US is leading the technology area, in particular towards the R&D, a lot like quantum computing, the holography, everything. Yeah. US is leading the technology. But what we see as Xiao-i from China, China is definitely leading the world in terms of the applications. How technology indeed helps or maybe improves everyone's daily life. Because as just mentioned, in China, these days people don't really need to carry the wallet. Yeah, everyone is just carrying the mobile phone. And then for a week, for a month, you can survive without your wallet because everything is done through a mobile phone. Yeah, whenever you go to buy something, to check the bill, you got QR code. And even these days, if you go to China, you may see some beggars on the streets, they're begging for money. What they do is they put a QR code on the street and then beg for your money. People just scan, use your mobile phone to scan and to pay. Yeah, this is how things are working in China. And all this will indeed be influencing everyone's life, and in particular, for every one of you from the financial industries. Yeah, because I think what we want to share with you is, Korea is also doing pretty well. Yeah, it just got the first 5G contract globally. Yeah, and it's doing pretty well. But I'm sure that there will be a lot more things to do over the next few years. Yeah, and that's why today, what I'm going to share with you is regarding how AI technology may be changing the financial sector. Because what we see is this is something happening already in the other part of the world, in China and in Hong Kong. Because there are lots of pain points that you see. It's not about what technology can do, but what we can do with the technology. Indeed, technology will be helping a lot of industries to solve their problems. There will be a lot of issue on cost. Yeah, we cannot be recruiting many people because the salary, the cost of the land is rising, the rental is rising. At the same time, there will be a lot of globalization that also will transfer to competitions. What are you going to do? Yeah, honestly speaking, it may not be easy or not too easy for you to go global from a Korean financial institutions perspective. One issue is because of the language issue, and other issues from the banking segment is the regulatory issues. Yeah, but the problem is that other people may be entering the Korean market, which may be eroding your profitability. So how are you going to reduce the cost and try your best to raise the profit? Yeah, people in the past maybe expanding market share. Now people are competing in technology, not really competing just in the banking services, the offerings, or maybe the quality of services. Now people are expecting, especially the youngsters these days, they use mobile phones all the time, and they just like to enjoy the mobile technology, the convenience, the user experience. All this matters to the financial segment. And back to China, where we are from, Xiao-i, we would say the AI landscape affecting the Chinese market is through a few areas which are closely related to the AI technology. What we would say is, in general, the landscape can be classified into three major categories. The perception. The second part is cognition, the thinking part. And the third part is the action. For the perception, what it means is like the image recognition, using this technology to about technology so that it can recognize, do a lot of verification. And for voice recognition, it brings to the convenience. Now I think people can still write very nicely. Very soon, already people are typing, but very soon I'm sure that 10, 20 years down the road, people's handwriting will be terrible because people just speak. And they're using all the voice technology to make things work. Yeah, this is like the perception. And we have a lot of like new players in this area which is doing very well. Yeah, but the most important part is the brain, the cognition. Because with all the data flying around, yeah, we need to know what is useful, what will be the efficient way to do things and understand the things. And then with lots of interactions, yeah, with people-to-people interactions for the banking segment in particular, with lots of like retail customers, yeah, how you change it to robots, to people. These are all related to conversational AI technology, how to interact with robots. And then through the physical interface, it could be a physical robot, but at the same time, it could be virtual robots, which may help people to interact. I think this is the landscape for China and for AI technology, which indeed is influencing many industries. And in the financial sector, AI is always the segment which is very well covered by AI technology. Yeah, from the front end, at the branches, you may sometimes see the robot, physical robot, serving the clients for customer inquiries. Yeah, at the back end, a lot of like credit process, a lot of like data analytics. These are all done by AI. And moving to the future, definitely is deep learning, the machine learning. This is the future. But at the moment, yeah, we also see a lot of like rule-based computation and logarithm. But very soon, the computer will learn the things by itself. But honestly, this is not the time yet. It's not that well developed. Because in this space, there are like just too much data around the world. Yeah, too much information on the internet. Some of the genuine ones, the good quality data, while the others may not. Yeah, or maybe the wrong data. Yeah, so you got to make sure that all the relevant data are included for the computer to learn it by themselves in order to help improve the engine, the systems. Yeah, this is very important. But we are sure that this will be the future, the machine learning. Yeah, because with such massive amount of data, what's important is have a super brain, which is smarter than me, and maybe you as well. Yeah, you're probably smarter than me. Yeah, and that's why I don't want to say it's smarter than you. But what we are for sure is for computer, they have much better memory than all of us. They know a lot of things, especially after training. Their accuracy will be high. Yeah, and we don't really need to worry about like for lots of issues for person. Yeah, they may get unhappy. They need some rest during the daytime. Yeah, and they may get confused if they are too tired. But all this won't be an issue for computer because they can work 7 days a week. Yeah, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yeah, everything will be done automatically. And all this brain power will be translating a lot of like data that is already existing in the market and then transferring to some really practical things. Yeah, that will be helping the financial institutions to work more efficiently. Because these days, everyone is talking about like clouding, yeah, or what we actually say is ABCD. ABCD for technology. What A means is AI. AI. B, big data. C, clouding. Clouding. Yeah. All this will be helping the whole world to reshape. But all these are interconnected with each other. Yeah, with like the blockchain technology, which the previous speakers just mentioned about. Yeah, it helps improve the technology and the linking between different parts. And all this will generating into a lot of new AI models, which ultimately will be benefiting everyone. But it may also be implying new challenges for the financial institutions as well. Because if a company is not investing in technology, that means it is indeed not investing into the future. There may be a lot of issues coming up and be very practical. Yeah, there are more virtual banks coming up. There may be a lot of like startups coming up. They may be doing the SME loans. Yeah, there will be a lot of things related to shared economy. Yeah, one day, yeah, I think maybe people will not just go into the branches, not just for ATMs. They can just do everything through the mobile phone, and they can sit here and operate your livelihood. All this will be happening. Yeah, and in particular, what we see is AI is already redefining how banks operate and how banks work. Yeah, because what we see is very practical. Yeah, we see investment management companies, they're using AI to rebalance all the ETF portfolios. Yeah, the AI investments. Yeah, e-banking is very common already. Yeah, chatbot is the channel. Yeah, which people will be using it to interact with the computers. And to the bank's perspective, yeah, what we see is, give you one example. In China, yeah, we are offering AI solutions to 80% of the leading banks in China. And for some of our clients, originally they have like 3,000 people in their call center, 3,000. After introducing the AI technology, what would be the impact? Only 30 people remains in the department. Only from 3,000 to 30 people. Yeah, despite the fact that the bank itself is handling over 1 million inquiries a day. Over 1 million inquiries. Yeah, there'll be too many people in China. Yeah, and without the use of the chatbot, it just helps solve a lot of problems. And it also means reducing a lot of cost. Yeah, in other scenarios, yeah, some other banks are using the AI, the robots, to do a lot of like market analysis, the data analytics. Say with all the massive data, how you categorize them, and then dig out from this data, generating into some useful ways of work that will be more efficient and effective in solving the problems. Yeah, earlier we mentioned about like the biometric verification using your face, just to recognize say who these are, and then in future probably maybe for the ATM machine you can just approach the ATM machine and automatically, your account will be opened. Yeah, a lot of like credit rating. Yeah, all these things will help the bank to operate, not just for the credit rating agency, but it may also help the client, your commercial banking relationships. Because for your client, use the AI technology, it can just use the crawl technology, AI crawl, it will crawl into the suppliers and also the customers of your banking client, which we know that all this will affect the cash flow of the company. And then from the bank's perspective, you probably want to run away if there's any cash flow issues for the suppliers, because it may mean the cash flow issues for your banking or borrowing client. Yeah, all these issues can be done by AI. For risk management, this is part of it. But at the same time, we see that in China, a lot of companies are using AI to do outbound calls. Yeah, reshaping the call center from a cost center, handling a lot of people to take the inquiries, but at the same time to do a lot of outbound calls to do business. That change them to sales team, generate more revenue for the banks. Yeah, all these are actually using the AI technology, to help. And fundamentally, what we see the important part is using the AI technology for the fundamental is like the technology. Just now from the call center, effectively it's just a cost center. But moving from the cost center to a profit center. Because people are already expecting a lot of like self-driving finance. A lot of like startups are doing that in just one segment. But just for banks, because of wide diversified portfolio of businesses, it may be facing different challenges. At the same time, for your talents, who you're recruiting, we all talk about like talent is important, which is one of the most important assets of a company. But in the future, probably you need someone who understands the technology regardless of what position they are leading. They got to understand the technology because you got to move along the wave of the technology for the operations. And for the regulations part, it will also be influencing as well. We see like the privacy issue, the policies, the virtual banking license, the SME loan license, the lending functions. All these will be also influencing the government and the regulators, how they want to regulate the markets. Because we see that some countries, for Hong Kong and China, it's very obvious. Yeah, despite the fact that we are still one country, but there are two systems. Two systems. Yeah. What we would say is in Hong Kong, a lot of things may be even lagging behind China's development already. Yeah. People in China just now mentioned about it's cashless society. It's probably the first country in the world to have cashless society. But in Hong Kong, we still need to use cash. Yeah, or maybe credit card. We still use checks. But in China, they just jump over. They just skip the checking. They just skip the credit card, basically. Directly from cash to cashless already. Yeah. All this will be generating a lot of data, but it also means how you regulate. Yeah. One of the reasons people may query why China is developing so fast, sort of all of a sudden, within 10 years' time. Yeah. To a certain extent, it's the policy issue. Yeah. In US, yeah, there are a lot of privacy ordinance. Yeah, you need to do this and that, and then this is not circulated around or whatever. In China, a lot of rules are still developing, and that means there's no regulation. Yeah, or maybe the privacy issue is less of an importance. And that means all this will generate a lot of data, and then with the data will generate a lot of computational arrangement, and then they will dive into some useful scenarios, applications. All this will help the city to improve. Yeah, in China, with all the big data, yeah, in the shared economy, yeah, we have the e-bike, yeah, what we call the mobile, which you just use the QR code to scan the bike on the street, and then you can just ride. After riding, you just dump it on the street side, and then you just lock the car. Yeah, this is very common in China. Yeah, and then it's very cheap. But the government indeed work with these enterprises to get the data from these organizations to help improve the transportation system, to see how the traffic flows, and maybe that may mean the government's policy may be opening a new underground station. All this actually is mutual. Yeah, for the commercial enterprise generating a lot of data, and the relevant policies may be changed accordingly as well. Yeah. So we see all this to the corporate level, to the industry level, as well as to the society level, is influencing, is changing day by day. What we also see is with the data technology, the AI technology, I'm not going to describe to you too detail today, yeah, but I'll just share with you some technology behind the scene is natural language processing, NLP. Yeah, the AI conversational techniques, yeah, the computer vision, biometric recognition, voice recognition, yeah, and all these are the fundamental technology. But it will be helping a lot of applications to come up. Applications, yeah, customer service is very obvious. Customer call center, yeah, changing few thousand people to few people. Yeah, 1 to 10% remains. Yeah, and the service level, people experiencing much better convenience. Say in Hong Kong, yeah, for a lot of banking services, it's still when you call the hotline, the first menu is one is Cantonese, second button is English, the third button is Mandarin. Then jump into the second menu. A credit card, B credit card, or retail service. Yeah, until after you press 5 to 6 buttons, then you can finally get hold of a customer service representative. But in China, a lot of banks are already using what we call the IVR arrangement. People just speak what you need on the phone. And immediately it translates into the text, and then the computer will understand what you really need and understand your intention, and directly to someone to handle your inquiries. And sometimes the someone is indeed a robot who takes care of your inquiries instantly. Yeah. All these are how technology is helping the customer experience. And chatbot is probably the most commonly seen AI technology that are already in place. Yeah, these are Chinese, and what we want to share with you is, with our engine we understand Mandarin Chinese, English as well as Cantonese. The slang sometimes will be different, but all this will be helping you from a financial institution to help interact with your clients. Today there are some securities firms. Yeah, your client may be asking a lot of like how to manage the broker, or maybe how to manage like the portfolio, which stock is performing well, or maybe is any other like ETF which is performing well with high dividend yield, high return but lower risk. All this can be instantly responsible by the robots directly. Instead of that, you wait in the line, waiting for your call representative, and then after getting your call, they need to check all the data. Yeah, and all this will be delaying the process. And also the customer experience is actually not too good. The fact is, this company have been using our AI engine, and the accuracy is already 98%, 98% accurate. And they are handling millions of inquiries every day. And as time goes by, with all the scenario, all the conversations, it will only make your machine smarter, improving the accuracy, so that more inquiries can be taken care by the robots. Yeah, and as for a lot of our clients, despite the business volume has gone up, indeed, a lot of like these human concentrated operations are actually reducing in size because they are using technology to change the process flow and efficiently solve the problems. Yeah, all these are already in place already. Yeah, I don't know how much AI technology has been employed in the financial segment here in Korea, but in a lot of research, we already see that probably the call center is one of the most easily influenced. Will be a benefit by AI technology, because by 2020, reports have been saying that the Ghana report saying 85% of the customer inquiries will be handled by robots 2 years later, next year indeed. Yeah, and then the market is huge because you can be handle a lot more business opportunities. Yeah, and all this will be reshaping how your firm, your financial institutions is dealing with your client, your customers. Yeah, because definitely AI will help a lot of work. But of course, AI will also be introducing new challenges, which from the banking perspective, you also need to take care of the concern, the regulatory issues, the people issue, how you manage the internal issues as well. And all this, will have good things, but inevitably, what we will say is like AI technology is everywhere anyway. You better embrace it earlier so that you can learn it quicker and also faster than others as well. Because in the past, we see that a lot of banks, say for example, the focus is like economies of scale. They want to grow faster, set up a lot of branches so that it can easily accessible to the customers. But these days with the technology, people are talking about like data, the scale of data, because all this can be done remotely. With all these operations, you understand the trades, and then all this will help your data to help create the solutions and help much better user experience. So in terms of like in the past, people were talking about how you get new customers. But as we all know, getting a new customer is actually quite expensive in terms of cost. It's not easy to get a new customer. But rather, now the focus for a lot of banks are the retention. You have your client, you better not lose your clients by offering more offerings, better return for them, and also at the same time reduce the cost of your operation. All this is actually very important. And also the talent, the nature of people that you are hunting will also be changing as well. Instead of like only just smart people, people are always talking about getting more talent in IT technology, from the IT technology stream. You got to get someone who understands the technology and also maybe at least to be ready for future growth. So hope that for the first part, you understand what is actually influencing the world. At least that is something that we see in China is already happening already. But who we are, how come we know all this? Because we are not just BSing, just saying that this will be the trend, this will be doing that. as an AI technology company, we are digging into the deep technology. But it's very simple. We see already, we always can come to different seminars. So there will be like AI expert, the companies talking about AI company, and also a lot of like companies listed, they will claim that they are AI technology company. But what's the difference between those and us, how you differentiate? Yeah, you take a look at their staff composition. We have about 700 people, and 60% are R&D research and engineers who deep into the technology itself. For a lot of other AI companies, they may be getting our technology and then using it to develop into applications. So it's like the fundamental layer of technology which we develop ourselves, and we generate into the new applications from the big framework, from the master macro planning, to until the point where it generates the solutions and then get it implemented all by ourselves. This is the difference. Yeah, sometimes for other AI companies, they'll be just adopting other companies' technology and then bundle with different suppliers and then outsource some of the work and to deliver the AI solutions. This is how differentiate us. Yeah, because all these are talking about, a lot of people are salespeople, technically speaking. They are the AI technology sales who bundle with different technology. For us, yeah, we are acting as the brain, the business brain, AI business brain for different companies, because we get a lot of data through the human-machine interactions, yeah, and through the daily operations, a lot of data, big data, and then we use our technology, the NLP, the semantic understanding, yeah, a lot of like context understanding, and we take out the relevant parts, and then we use like the rule-based AI technology, and also through the machine learning, we come up with the answer, we understand the scenario, we come up with a useful and meaningful, yeah, to do the reasoning, cognitive part, and then generate into a solution and interact back with the person. This is how it works. And then going deep into technology will be chatting bots, FAQ bot, deep bot, recommendation bot, discovery bot. Yeah, I'm not going into details of each of these, but what we want to share with you is some companies, they may also be talking about that they are also good in AI technology. But the difference is they probably will only be going to 1 to 3 level. Yeah, but for us, it's deep to the 5 level. Technically, what will be the difference from a user experience perspective? If you ask questions in the chatbots, yeah, some companies, you basically have only like, basically it's like 200 FAQ they upload to the internet, which interact with you. If they just slightly change how the question is asked, yeah, you may lose track the answer. The computer will not be able to respond. But unlike us, yeah, no matter how you ask, yeah, we will understand, we'll give you the answer. Because in particular in the financial segment, we know it too well. Yeah, for our chatbot system, usually we can already get it implemented, yeah, for testing for 1 month. Because all the industry players, all the leading players are using us. Yeah, we are taking a lot more conversation than one bank themselves. And that's why knowledge itself is very important. But so far, what we will see is AI technology has yet to do too many areas, just like AlphaGo. Yeah, it's very smart. It beat the world #1. But it can only play Go. If you put it to Chinese chess, it doesn't work. It's a dumb guy. Yeah, because it's knowledge that matters. It's the knowledge domain that matters. All this needs time to build up and build a lot of hurdles in the industry already. Yeah. Skipping. And then for us, yeah, we deep into the R&D development, and we have a lot of engineers who come up with solutions and then get it implemented to help the enterprises themselves, all by ourselves. And we have indeed 5 R&D centers, and one of them is actually in Hong Kong, which we just set up our Asia Pacific headquarters in Hong Kong, and then plan to expand it to other Asian countries. And last year, the chief executive of Hong Kong also came to our office to officiate the opening ceremony. Yeah. And actually 2 weeks later, the financial secretary will be coming over as well. Yeah. Our founders established our company. It's not a startup, 18 years ago. And one is from Microsoft, and one is from the Chinese Academy of Science. And he's indeed the leader for the Chinese government in driving the NLP technology. All these are our credentials, our existing clients. A majority of them are in the financial segments. And at the same time, we also have a lot of like retail companies, telecommunications companies. And basically is whenever the company, we are B2B. Whenever our client has a lot of 2C client, they probably need our solutions because it helps a lot of work to be conversational AI. Instead of like people, your staff dealing with your clients, it uses robot to deal with your client. And they automate a lot of process and then generating a lot of systems, data. And then it helps you to integrate a lot of systems, which may be launched like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, which the internal IT system doesn't work. And the financial industry probably need to make one time to have a lot of like technology upgrade. Ghana has always been mentioning about Xiao-i in parallel with Siri, Cortana, and also Amazon, all these companies in terms of like the conversational AI. And at the same time, CRSA's research report, there are many AI companies in China, and we are named by them as the leading player in NLP and conversational AI applications company. So for technology, I think it's refutable, and I think all our track record has spoken for ourselves. But looking to the future, we see that this trend is not just happening in China, but also globally. Just now mentioned about the Ghana's report, expect by next year, 85% of the call centers will be handled by AI. And in China, we see it's happening already. It is converting the traditional call centers to intelligent, smart, next generation of call centers, which employ a lot of technology, AI technology to do. And in the past, it's growing like 50%. For the next few years, it's growing at 75%. According to a research report by global research institutions, Frost and Sullivan. It's happening already. But now the conversion rate is still not that high. At the moment, it's less than 1%, 0.2% only in China. Because not just the big institutions probably are the first batch of companies that will be transferring to the smart technology. But there are still many smaller companies, just I mentioned about not just taking care of like the customer service. They're doing a lot of sales. These days, you probably receive a lot of like sales calls through your mobile phone to do businesses. In the future, this will be taken care of by the robots. And then you can imagine how many calls they will be dealing with. And they don't have sentiment. They'll just keep calling. Unless a time when there's some kind of policies coming up. We see that we are the leader in this area, and we are already like expanding our ecosystem. From top level, more complicated solutions, offerings, and at the same time, we offer like some customized solutions to different financial institutions. And even for like very common, we commodize the product, by having like the ecosystem, basically a SaaS model, depending on the customization need, of our clients. And moving to the future, definitely we need more AI solutions. It not just helps the customer service, it helps the sales, it helps the analysis, the credit department, and it helps to manage the investment portfolios. And all this will need different type of AI solutions across different industries. Financial is just one of them. Retail will also be embedded. Medical, it will assist the doctors to do the diagnosis. For the manufacturing companies, how they do more effective sales. All these are happening already. And of course, language issue. Right now, mainland Chinese, Mandarin, the accuracy is already very high. Just now I mentioned about 97, 98% already. English also very commonly, doing very well. Probably Japanese, Korean is yet to develop in the very accurate language engine by computer, but it will be happening. Just a matter of time. Just about how much resources you want to develop into NLP. Because we see data is already generating every single second. And then it's a matter of how you use this data to make it space to pass it to the computer, the supercomputers, the quantum computers, the TPUs. It helped develop a lot of algorithms to ultimately generate a lot of applications, generate new applications from big to small. And all these applications will once again generate into new data, useful data for the next round. All this, the ecosystem is actually building every single second, and it's improving every single second. So, what we see to conclude is, we know that AI is happening. Technology is influencing everyone's life every day. It's just how much you want to take the step, or you just always want wait and see how it's doing. But what we always see is, our recommendation is just take the first step to try a small, or maybe do a pilot scheme on some operations to see how it effectively helps your company. And also because one day, we know that everyone needs to embrace the technology. And the future is not just what is the service that you're offering. It's a matter of how much technology investment into the future that you are doing to helping your company. Of course, in case you have any further questions, feel free to get in touch with us. My contact details are here as well, and happy to share more privately. Thank you very much. Thank you.